Super Bowl week well underway now, and we're at the point of regurgitation of stories that will be discussed ad nauseum for the next 4 or 5 days. Are you guys Ray Lewis fatigued? I'll go with you, Jim G.
Oh, of course not. He's one of the best players of all time. I'm always interested to find out what he has to think or what other people think of him. And it's obviously going to be the last game of his career, so there's going to be a lot of people talking, lots of opinions.
But
there's no fatigue on my part, no.
Steph Mocella, are you Ray Lewis fatigued?
Absolutely not, because we have to go through Manning versus Brady last year, and we have to go through all that rematch talk, so it's a nice change for me to not have to listen to it being about Manning or Brady all the time, and it's a new face in the Super Bowl. And don't forget, there's also guys like Colin Kaepernick getting a lot of attention, Ed Reed as well, and the Harbaughs, of course, being two brothers in the Super Bowl. So there's a number of storylines that are being followed closely.
Michael has just scored the first shootout goal. Bobby Ryan now up for the Ducks. We'll keep you up to date with that game. I am a bit Ray Lewis fatigued, I believe, with Ray Lewis. He's reached a point now where it's pregame, during the game, postgame, and I think moving ahead here with this scenario, as I said to Eric Thompson in the first hour, they have to put more focus on Joe Flacco, Ray Rice, Dennis Pitta, who I think will have a monster game this weekend. For the Ravens, against the Niners. Look, Ray Lewis, he's lost a step. He's not the same Ray Lewis of 10 years ago, 13 years ago, 14 years ago. But I believe the real best linebacker on this team is Daniel Ellerbe, who I think has been fantastic and is the key essential for the Ravens to have a chance to win over the Niners this weekend.
Especially if you're looking at the matchup with Vernon Davis, you're going to think either Ellerbe or Terrell Suggs will be matched up with
Suggs won't be matched up with them. Suggs will be passed.
So you'll think Ellerbe would be matched up with Davis.
Ellerbe
so
could very well be. Paul Kruger could be a guy that could bump and run with Vernon Davis. But again, Ellerbe is the best player for the Ravens on defense, and I think that will be key for them in this matchup is to see where Ellerbe is located on the football field. If you're calling Kaepernick, that has to be your first read all the time. Ray Lewis is going to be in the middle. He's not going to do anything else. They're not going to put him in pass coverage. They're not going to have him be that guy to line up with Vernon Davis one-on-one because Vernon Davis will eat his lunch and score like five touchdowns on him. So really, it comes down to where will Daniel Ellerbe be on the football field. 514-790-1690. Jim G, Steph Mocella, Moe Khan here in Game Points. One key storyline that you're looking forward to this weekend, Jim.
I just want to see how many touches does Randy Moss get during the game. Is he going to be featured, or is it going to be a situation where he's just the number 3 or 4 guy getting 1 or 2 throws thrown his way?
Steph, your storyline of the weekend.
I'm looking to see how Colin Kaepernick plays because this is going to be one of the tougher defenses he's played in a while. Probably the best defense since the Seattle game. So I'm wondering if he's going to play the way he did last week in NFC Championship, staying in the pocket more and looking for throws downfield, or if we're going to see the Colin Kaepernick of 3 weeks ago in the divisional round where he was running all around the field. So I'm really anxious to see what the 49ers plan to do against the Ravens defense.
For all you gambling degenerates out there who love to gamble on hockey, the Sharks have won in a shootout. Timo Solani hitting the crossbar, which could have prolonged the shootout, but unfortunately for him, he did not convert that opportunity. Sharks win the game over the Ducks 3-2. Sharks over the Ducks in a big Pacific Division matchup between the two teams, California rivals, and the Sharks now back on the win board again. Ducks been very awkward year, hot start, come up flat against the Canucks, and now lose to the Sharks in a key Pacific Division battle. One storyline that I'm looking forward to, which I'll talk about more on Thursday's show, is the special teams. You look at John Harbaugh and him being a special teams coach at the Philadelphia Eagles, what he can bring to this football team. I think he will have a special teams trick up his sleeve at some point during the football game. Remember, the Ravens have not really run too many fakes, except for the game against Oakland, where they ran a fake field goal for a touchdown, I believe it was.
But they also won by 40 points.
That's right, which made no point, exactly. Made no sense here. But you look at David Akers and how shaky he's been. He's missed 12, 13, 14 field goals this year. You look at the young kicker for Baltimore. He's been cold as ice. Justin Tucker, who's had a fantastic year for the Ravens. It will come down to kicking here and who can win the field position battle and finally who can convert their field goal opportunities. And David Akers missed a field goal indoors against the Falcons. Now
he hit the upright.
Like a big stunk off the upright here. Now he's playing against the Ravens at the Superdome, and again, I think if he misses 1 or 2 field goals, that could be the difference, because remember the game between these two teams about a year and a half ago in Baltimore on Thursday, U.S. Thanksgiving Day, Thursday night. It was 9-9, or 9-6, pardon me.
9-6 early in the fourth
quarter, and then Baltimore won 16-6. So I think field goals will be a key factor for you gamblers out there. I think it'll be on the under with these two teams and trying to go over the betting line here. So really, field goals will be key in this football game between Akers and Tucker this weekend.
If you look at it historically, since Scott Norwood missed the field goal in 1990, that would have won the Super Bowl for the Bills against the Giants. Field goal kickers have not really come into play in the Super Bowl.
They haven't Adam Vinatieri.
Yes, but in terms of missing a field goal, or the only time I could think of as when a kicker blew a Super Bowl was when John Casey kicked the ball out of bounds on the Patriots.
That was on a kickoff, though.
But it was still a kicker that made a mistake. He kicked it out of bounds, gave Tom Brady the ball at the 40-yard line with about a minute 20 left.
And the game would have gone into overtime, though.
Well, the thing is, Tom Brady still would have had possession, but he wouldn't have had the ball at the 40-yard line.
At the 20.
He maybe gotten maybe 20, 25, depending on the run back. But because the ball went out of bounds, the Panthers had to give the Patriots possession with a minute 20 left at the 40. Other than that mistake by a kicker, I can't think of another kicker that's made mistakes. Yes, they've made a lot of field goals in the Super Bowl, but no kicker has really blown a Super Bowl since Scott Norwood.
Steph?
I can't think of one either. I can only think of Casey. And just for the record, though, the over-under on how many successful field goals will be kicked in this game, 3.5.
Keep your props for the bottom of the hour, which we'll go through. 3.5, right?
It's just that we're on the kicking subject now.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's amazing, though, because people don't realize that special teams accounts for 60% of a football game here. And that's going to be huge in this game, because you look at Akers and what he has done or what hasn't he done this year, it could be a big impact if he misses a field goal, because 3 points essentially is like 7 points between these two teams here. So really, who will convert their opportunities? I do like Baltimore right now in that department. But again, with this football team, I think John Harbaugh has something lined up for Jim Harbaugh. And at some point, if momentum's in favor of the Niners, I believe John Harbaugh will call a fake field goal. Remember the onside kick 3 years ago, New Orleans and Indianapolis down in Miami? New Orleans recovers it to start off the second half. There's going to be something up someone's sleeve on a fake something on special teams this weekend.
I also, thinking back to that Super Bowl 38, Adam Vinatieri, up until the game-winning field goal, he had not been having a good game. He had missed one from about 35. He also had one blocked, so it did come down. If he had made those field goals early in the game, probably wouldn't have been as close, so that almost cost the Patriots in the end, but he got a chance to redeem himself, fortunately for him.
514-790-1690. Jimmy G. Moe Khan here along with Steph Mocella.